Hello, welcome to Sean's Tech Blog. I have guests here, Dr. Wesley Phillips. We're going to get right into it. So, we're going to start with the main discussion learning cybersecurity. And my first question for you, Dr. Phillips, is for someone brand new to cybersecurity, what foundational skills or concepts should they focus on first?
Foundational skills. Okay. Well, as a college professor, we like to teach people basic networking, um, Windows, Linux, command line, and GUI. We talk to them about how data may move across the network from one computer to another, whether it be in the same building or across the country or out to the airplanes and to the ships out at sea. Um, but for me, in my opinion, we already know cyber. We just need to learn how to or receive, get the opportunity to apply it. The reason why I say that is it's right here. We all have cell phones. If we trusted everyone, we would just take our cell phone and say, hey, go ahead, you can use it. Right. We may not, we put passwords and PIN numbers on our cell phone. Why? Most people know why. We want to keep our stuff private, our information private. We don't want people to have access to my internet history or your cell phone number or phone number, and they message you and send you pranks and phishing attacks. So we know cyber. We just need to now take those same strategies that we use on our cell phone and use it on our computer, use it in our networks, use it with our policies, then learn how to monitor our networks and then apply the appropriate controls throughout the entire network for this reason. And I try to do that in a fun way, in a relatively quick way. And like, for example, I never guarantee people jobs when they come here to learn cyber. But for some reason, they getting work. And that's
Right.
something that makes me insanely happy. I need you to be a confident cybersecurity practitioner for yourself or for the career field if that's what you want to do. So learning cyber, you just need the opportunity to do it. And at hsoc Cyber, we give everyone the opportunity to do it from day one for yourselves or for a particular series of different career roles. And learning cyber is actually very easy. It's not difficult. Do you know how to join the public Wi-Fi? If you know how to do that and you know why you're doing it and how to do it safely, we'll show you how to do it safely versus just saying go ahead and join it because we need to do the research and understand why not to join free public Wi-Fi. We have to do that under caveats.
Okay. So, I'm going to go to question two here. What
Okay.
learning path do you recommend? Self study, certifications, formal education, a mix, and then maybe why? Why something works or why it doesn't sometimes work for particular
So
students.
interesting question. The traditional way to learn cyber was coming up myself, and I still see it even in the colleges, is go ahead and get your A plus certification to learn hardware and software, maybe firmware and why that's important. And then from there, learn networking, how two systems communicate. And then you go into Security Plus and you learn how to secure the network. Then from there, you can have specialties, your CYSA, your pen testing certification, your Security X. That's the whole CompTIA pathway. That's what everybody knows, and for some reason, people tell people to go that way. I see it a little bit different. Um, Although I respect CompTIA, I'm a partner with CompTIA. I sell their certifications. I train to them. The same thing with um, EC Council, and ISC Square, and all SANS, and all those big organizations, right? I have those same certifications. I studied them, I learned them. I'm very proud to have earned those certifications. They have done me well. The return on investment is outstanding for all of those, particularly if you do the hands-on component in addition to the theory, which most people are trying to memorize those exams those exam questions, and then they earn the black belt, if you say, the certification, and then they walk around thinking they know how to fight, and they really don't. They get into the organization and they're like, "Can you train me? I'm here to learn. I just started yesterday." But outside, you walk around. I'm Security X. I'm ISC Square certified. I'm EC Council certified. So, in my opinion, the best learning path is to first learn it at home. We have a real network in our homes. Let's learn how to do that, use that, learn how to secure real things like this laptop that's in front of me, this network that I possess in my home, this cell phone that I have. And then that's an enterprise in itself on a smaller dynamic. Then when you truly prepare that stuff, coupling in a lot of industry regulations that I'm aware of, I'm not going to say them all now, that confidence starts to build, right? I should be able to give you a tablet and say, hey, go ahead and secure that thing. I have specific processes of how I don't want to say teach, how I inspire people to actually do a thing, I'll say. And then from there, we just grow and grow and grow and grow. We actually build our own networks in our homes on different systems. And there's a process for that. I'm not sure how much I should say. But learning cyber, the learning path should be teaching yourself how to protect what you actually own. That's what cybersecurity is. If you did a Google search, what is cybersecurity, right? I'm not going to regurgitate it all, but it's like a practical approach towards securing your home, your systems, your cell phone, your IoT devices. And once you do that, then you can segue into understanding how organizations protect themselves. My tagline at hsoc Cyber: how can you defend an organization from cyber threats if you don't know how to protect yourself? How can you protect an organization if you don't know how to protect yourself? So let's learn how to protect ourselves first. And then from there, you can look to see which certifications will give you the return on investment for that job you want. And for that matter, when we teach certifications, we do the applied certification approach. We're not teaching you theory. You're going to do it. So when you can do this work, your confidence level is like, oh my God, why didn't I do this before? Learning on simulation platforms, that's how I learned. That was cool and everything. But when I got into the office space, I was like, man, I don't know anything. My confidence level was in the toilet. So taking all those experience from myself and other people throughout all these years and saying there's a better way to do this, I believe there's a customized learning path for any of you. You just call me, let's talk about it, and then we'll get you going the hsoc Cyber way. And for some reason, I don't know why people come in here and they just keep coming back. I call that a good problem to have. Not only that, they get with employers and they're walking up in there and they're taking over the interview, they get into the job, and they're doing a great job. Okay. I hope that answered your question, Sean. Long.
Yeah, great benefit, and certainly do sign up for hsoc Cyber if you're trying to get in or you need to refresher. For me, I am joining hsoc Cyber because I feel like I need to level up my skills. The job market is what it is, and for me, the best safeguard is upskilling. I want to not take any shortcuts. I don't think I have taken any shortcuts, but I want to make sure that I am ready to go when I get that first paid position. All right, I'm going to transition to the questions. Question 3, 4. All right, so I think you already touched on about hands-on experience is important. Best way beginners can begin. Let's go to the common mistakes you see people make when trying to break into cybersecurity.
People, first of all, they hear, well, I got to get certified. When I get certified, then I can get the job. That season has come and gone. Unless you know someone, that has come and gone. 10 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, if you earn a Security Plus certification, you got a job within 30 days. I know. I started off as a security certification company. I trained people, they got certified, they got jobs in 30 days. They loved me. It was fantastic. But as soon as I think it was 2019, that transition happened. And I would always tell people in my certification company, make sure you get some hands-on skills. Go to this website, do this, make sure you, okay. When they just never did. So common mistakes is not acquiring any real hands-on or work preparation skills so that you can actually do the job. Because guess what? Those same people that got the certifications and they got into employment, they started to realize that, man, no one knows how to do anything except for a very small few people. So now we have to write up different hiring requirements. Make sure they have 5 years of experience, and this is a beginner entry level position. Huh? That makes no sense to me. I think I even saw one. It must have been a joke. 5 or 10 years of experience for an entry level position. That's ridiculous. You all need practical skills that couple that theory that you learned. Get that yesterday. Contact me if you want to learn how. You also need certifications. You do not pass a certification exam only by trying to memorize concepts. Learn how to apply each and every one of those concepts. Again, that's the hands-on stuff. Problem solving. People say, I'm a great problem solver. I'm a critical thinker. Then I ask them to do something for me that's technical, and I don't know how to do that. What makes you think I know how to do that? And then I prove to them, yes, you do. That's why I have this process, the hsoc cyber research and confidence building model. And if you follow that process, I can almost guarantee that I can give you the most advanced project on the planet and you'll knock it out and be like, oh, I did it. We don't know how to solve problems. We don't even have a process for ourselves. We know how to do things. We're very cocky, right? We're very proud. That's fantastic. But how do you train someone else to do that same thing, even if you do it well? And also, too, is what about the things that you've never tried before? I used to be afraid to try things. I am no longer afraid to try things. I just learn from my mistakes. People don't learn from their mistakes. They just get frustrated and they blame it on someone else. You didn't give me great instructions. Well, I don't know what employment place where they always gave me instructions. Usually they gave me a mission and told me to accomplish the mission. So I had to figure it out. And that's, again, learning to the process. Yeah, so I think those are some of the big highlights, although I can probably go on a little bit. Oh, presentation skills. Most people they don't want to present. They want to stay anonymous. You know, in this profession, this is one of many professions where, man, cybersecurity professionals, they'll eat their young if you're not keeping up with everybody else. They'll smile in your face, they'll backstab you a second later. That person is a scrub. Who hired him or her? And these are the things that we have to deal with in the real world. So breaking into cyber, the schools are still stuck on, hey, if you do this and you earn an A through an F, yeah, you should be able to, you can earn these A's and B's, you'll go in the workplace and you'll knock it out. It's like a false sense of security or something. They're letting you know you achieve this, you'll do great there. And it just doesn't translate during the interviews. I've interviewed people. I'm top 1%, try hack me or hack the box. Fantastic, because I use them too, right? I love these gamified platforms. They're fantastic to learn skills. But then how do you apply that in the workplace? Literally, I had a Kali Linux machine during an interview. Guy said he was top 1%. And I said, okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I opened up the screen, the terminal, and said, can you tell me how to do an update, an upgrade for this particular terminal? And this is what happened. It wasn't funny. I actually felt bad. So then I had to come down with two other examples, and the person was like, well, I don't have my notes and I don't know how to do that. So, but the resume read like, oh my gosh, you can do everything. But when I literally discuss some of the things written on the resume, common mistake, right? People lie on a resume or they stretch the truth a bit. They couldn't demonstrate anything to me. So if you can't do that, that means you'll never, I call it take over the interview so that you can actually get the job.
Oh, if I may interrupt you there, I was
Mhm.
well. One, I want to try a stab at the terminal. Is it It's probably pseudo yum update for the applications. I'm
Close. It
assuming.
was sudo apt update,
Okay. All right.
two ampersands, sudo apt upgrade, space tac y,
I will
right?
get there. I'm not there yet, but and
But
then
you were on your way. You did better than he did.
I'm going to start on the second thing that I was thinking about, the resume. I don't want to touch too much on the resume, but what I'm doing, if I may say, is that my goal is to touch on everything that I've done in my resume or that's on my resume and show demonstrated in the cybersecurity portfolio that I'm going to be creating with hsoc Cyber, and then additionally other stuff that I'm working on. There's stuff that I'm very confident I can do. Active Directory, the help desk, but I haven't been able to break out of the IT support to that next level. But so I now we're I want to say in bonus section of questions before we get into hsoc Cyber and get a little deeper into there. I wanted to touch on every that. What do you think on the? Is there oversaturation in the cybersecurity market? This is the industry's hot because in some of my I went to a cyber boot camp and then I've been in an internship nonprofit. Some of the career changers and already have a career, in my opinion. There's been a nurse changing to cybersecurity. They've already had different careers. What are your thoughts on career changers and this market as it stands right now? And then, of course, AI, because SOC analyst roles, I assume, are going to kind of go away or not be as relevant. And then you need to know those hard skills, the Linux, the networking, computer networking, let's be specific, computer programming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which question you want to get to first? You threw a lot at me. I think I can hit them all though.
Let's start with career changers.
Okay,
Is this
career
is this
changers.
is this the
These
time?
okay. So what exactly do you want me to answer? Because I could say is cybersecurity, we all should be doing it anyway.
Okay.
This field is open. We welcome anyone to
Okay.
include career changers. Not to mention, it's really unfortunate how many people are losing their careers. I don't want to get political, but I've been getting a lot of phone calls from people who have been who experienced Doge firings and so forth, and retired early and stuff like that. And they think, can I come to you and you show me how to get a certification so I can get a job? Well, guess what? I actually have a term. It's called E squared C squared. Any one of us, if we have a strong education and experience, the two E's, certification, and maybe a clearance, if you have all four of those, you'll probably never hurt for a job in the first place. But uh, that experience still needs to be coupled with a certification at the minimum. A lot of people, you don't need a certification, a clearance to get into these cyber roles, but you definitely need to have go through some sort of relatively formal education process, acquire lots of workforce development like training that emulates the actual workplace, not a bunch of projects that, hey, here's some projects for you to do. What do you projects? You have to brief people on those projects. You got to convince them that you actually know how to do it. There's a whole lot to go with that. Soft skills, teamwork stuff, presentations, stuff that cannot be ignored, that need to couple. Oh, I went online and I completed 10 projects, and yes, you can now give me the job. That is not a true workforce development package, in my opinion, because anyone can Google a bunch of projects, but someone else has to vet the project. Just because you completed it, that's still a portion of what needs to actually take place in the real world. I never created or finished a project and not briefed it to somebody in the office, a supervisor, a client, or so forth. It just doesn't work like that. Career changers, cyber is open. There's what, millions, a few million different jobs in cybersecurity. You have transferable skills. Bring those skills, right? You probably are more serious than anyone else that's probably trying to transition into this space, because you worked and you really want to do well because you've already done well in your current position. So come up in here, bring those skills, and we'll fast track you and show you how to acquire certain amount of skills and even certifications. And you know this already, Sean, at hsoc Cyber. We can show you how to earn a true applied hands-on package towards certifications within 30 days or so. Right? So within, say you come for 6 months, 12 months. I mean, in a perfect world, you could walk out of here with like 5 to 6 different certifications in 6 months. But I don't care about your certification personally. I care about your skills first. What do you know how to do so you can sell yourself and get employment? But we also need to keep in mind some positions, businesses do businesses with other businesses in government, and the contracts sometimes require a person to have a certain level of education. You must have a master's degree or a bachelor's degree. Okay, a doctorate degree, right? This other requirement, you must have at least security plus and network plus and maybe pen test plus. Oh, wow. You must have 5 years of experience. That stuff can be defeating for a career changer or even an entry-level person. And then what we teach you is we're going to maximize our skills, the hsoc Cyber way, I'll say. And even when you may have 6 months of all that, but we're going to show you something where you can have the preferred skills, not have 5 years, and then when they see your resume, they're going to be like, did you do all that? And all I can say is one of my guys, I won't mention his name, applied for a job with a bank. He got an interview. He was asking me how much do I think he should pay for or charge. I gave him some tips. We did some research and said that's a good safe number. This is a risky number to ask for, but you may get it. He asked for that number. He ended up not getting that job for that number, and he didn't get that job at all. What happened was when they saw all the things that I showed him to do, he got another job supervising all those people, that same place, and $50,000 more. He did not have the 5 years of experience. He had 1, right? But the notes that I had people take, the portfolio that I had them do, the amount of things that I had them do over that 1 year, you could take his resume up against someone who had 10 years and OMG, he smoked them, right? Not taking away anyone who had 10 years of experience, though. They know maybe they need to learn how to rewrite their stuff or not just do the same things over and over again. I gave him some tough things to do because where I used to work in the government when I was a CISO, my boss asked me for something, and a lot of times I felt like I was an entry-level person coming in this side. What did he ask me for? And I had to follow my own process that I shared with you all to be able to do the work that was asked of me for a whole government agency. Does that help, Sean?
Yeah, so I guess my takeaway would be from the career changers, it's an open market right now. It's not oversaturated, right? Would be your stance. And there's plenty of open positions that need to be filled. So let me
Correct.
transition
Bring those
to,
transferable skills. You never know what you may be able to get.
okay, I'm going to transfer, if I may, into hsoc Cyber, if you want to touch on that. And any other topics on the hsoc cyber before we get to just rapid advice and takeaways?
Okay, well, hsoc cyber is a skills first apprenticeship, internship, and a fellowship. What does that mean? So I was always trying to help people who are in need to learn cybersecurity for free or a low fee. I was never trying to like charge you $20,000 like these colleges and stuff can be. So if you want to learn affordable cyber, affordable hands-on from day one cyber, come here, go to the website, hsoccyber.org, and take a look around to learn the differences between the apprenticeship, which is I'm working with employers. Employers will hopefully hire people, and as a related technical instruction program, which is what we are what we call an in-house provider, and I'm in the state of Virginia. An employer could contract with me, and I will train that brand new employee to do the work at that company. So that's how the apprenticeship works. And the cool thing though is if you're hired on as apprentice, you're actually compensated by the employer. Employer pays for all of your training, and then you walk out with a portfolio of all the things that you've done and certifications that you earn or work toward, so that you can do a fantastic job with that employer. That's pretty much how the apprenticeship works. If you Google Virginia apprenticeship, um, you'll have to look and see what the qualifications are. I do not know them by heart. I'm actually trying to add that stuff to my website this week, so I can try to make this a lot easier for people to say, okay, I meet this qualification and I'm going to apply to be an apprentice with hsoc cyber. That's one.
And then I wanted to go to the hsoc, some of the communities you serve, veterans, military, justice, justice involved community members as well, I assume.
Exactly. No limits, no boundaries. I'm working with different colleges throughout the country. I have people in other countries that I work with. I'm working with yes, I call it the I actually forgot the name. You kind of got me, but yes, people in prisons or who just got out of prison. There's training here, there's skill here. They need to learn how to do things. So that they can obtain employment too, right? Justice impacted. That's what I call it, justice impacted. I work with teenagers. My youngest student was 11 years old. My first intern was 14 years old, right? In summary, he now has a full ride to North Carolina A&T in the cyber program. He earned 4 certifications through me, probably has more now. At age 15, he was training the adults, the hsoc cyber way. He also is interning now with a couple of really cool government agencies. And I'm very, very proud of him. I was asked not to say what agencies he's interning with, but I can tell you verbally, it's pretty cool. And he's well respected in his little small circle. The hsoc Cyber Internship Program is a 20-hour internship program where they work 20 hours a week with me. I usually do that with nonprofit programs and schools and other businesses. You have some people that want to learn hands-on hsoc, hands-on cybersecurity, come through me. They're compensated through these government programs. The Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act is one of them. They pay you, they pay me, they pay you, you earn X amount of dollars an hour. I think it's like between $15 to $18 an hour. It's not a whole lot, but it's ideal for college students and people just that want to get real work experience inside of a real cybersecurity environment. They create their portfolios, they do live demos in front of me and my team. And ironically, I was just on a call before this call, wrapping up with one of my interns, and she said some of the best things. So I'm really proud to do that. I've been doing that for a long time now. Then I have the hsoc Cyber Fellowship, open to the world, open to the public, people who may not be able to take advantage of these different government funding programs because you have to qualify for that, right? I made it what I call relatively affordable, right? You get access to our applied certification stack and you learn how to get certified hands-on. You get real projects which you have to complete according to the criteria. You got to present those projects. You got to document them. Myself and my executive mentors and my team leads, we review everybody's work. We have a whole team of people. They all work together. We can communicate 7 days a week. The fellows participate in 4 hours worth of meetings a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. in the evenings, Eastern Standard Time. They come to these team meetings. During those team meetings, we what have you done today? What did you do yesterday? Or what are you doing tomorrow? Whatever, and what impediments did you go through? And we just try to assist you with that, inspire you. They do presentations. They upload it in a specific platform that we use. What happens from there is the confidence level just it just exudes, it explodes. They are like, man, that felt like real work. I actually had to present. I hated that, but they break out their shell. It's like the big S comes up on their chest because they're now Superman or Superwoman. So apprenticeship, go to the website and look and see what it is to qualify to become an apprentice. It does require sponsorship with an employer. The internship, again, sponsored with an employer or a school. I actually had interns from Chicago and a few other states outside of Virginia that sent their students here. And this thing, it was fantastic. And I write articles on people too. Feel free to join my LinkedIn, and then that fellowship is open to the public. Go ahead, Sean.
And then I was gonna say, so the fellows, they meet virtually online, these programs. And I wanted to just touch, so is this open to international students?
Yes,
For the audience that might be out international?
I actually have. I was about to name names. Let me stop naming names. I've had people in Nigeria, South America, Canada, all on my sessions. And I did not start this to start a business again. I was just literally trying to help a few people who were certified. They got the job interview, but they couldn't get the job because they didn't know how to do it. And I literally had a man and a woman cry on my shoulder on separate occasions, and I couldn't believe it. I'm not accustomed to grown men who want to take care of their family crying. Dude was like, I thought he said to me, you said if I get certified, I get a job. And I was like, who told you that lie? I never said that. It's going to help. It's not a guarantee. In that case, you know how many people be employed right now that are certified? You got to show that employer that you know how to do stuff. So what hsoc Cyber is trying to do is fill the gaps in for those college students, those newly certified people, the people who want to be certified, the entry level, the career changers. Come here, talk to me, and let me tell you just 2 minutes. I'll share some wisdom on you and I'll ask you some questions. Can you do this? And if you can't, I'm going to tell you right now, an hsoc Cyber fellow, intern, or an apprentice can't. And the
Okay.
employers are really happy with that.
So we reached your time. I don't know if you have time for bonus, but if you don't, that's fine. I want to thank you, Dr. Phillips. We for joining Sean's Tech Blog. I hope I get more guest speakers for Sean's Tech Blog. I hope they want to come out here and subscribe to Sean's Tech Blog, support my cause, support Dr. Phillips. The links will be in the video description. And if you have more time, we can keep recording. If you don't, we'll end the session here.
Go ahead. I got a few minutes. What questions do you have, sir?
All right. So I'm going to gear into bonus real quick. You are the hiring manager. What are some things you would be looking for when a job seeker is trying to get a job there? And then this is, you don't have to participate, but if you want to, what has been your job seeker experience? What you wish, or just in general, whatever you want to talk about your job seeker experience from when you started your first, let's keep it to cybersecurity, tech, that type of stuff. But, or, in general, interviews, what do you think is outdated? I don't know. Those are just some ideas if you want.
Okay. You ask good long questions. Let me see if I can get to that thing. The first one, which was
You as
you
the hiring manager.
you said I'm the hiring manager.
Yeah. What are you looking for when you resume, and then what when
Okay,
you're
I
interviewing
got
them?
I
Okay.
got it. So I'm when usually I read the position description. Usually I actually create the position description, and then HR and my manager will look at it and say, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yes." So now I also create something very different than the average person. My stuff is based on the mission of the organization and the job we have to do. And I used to work for the Department of Defense. I needed people who are not just certified, but they could do the job. If I put them on a Splunk terminal, I put them on a or with some certain tools, maybe a different operating system. I needed to see how they sink or swim. So I'm really big on the skills first, right? So I'm looking for, does this person have the skills I need? And that is who I'm looking at hiring. Having been to a lot of CISO meetings and a lot of other managerial meetings, that's all I hear. Everybody's saying the same thing. We got all these people who's certified, but they don't know how to do anything. So the trend in the industry is we need people that know how to do stuff. If you don't know how to do stuff, you know if you know how to do it or not, right? If you're still skittish with presentations, you know if you know how to do that or not. Well, we're assessing that. We're looking at resumes and we're looking at, oh, look at this chat GPT fluff. Look at all this fluff. They don't know how to do anything, but you know what? This is what HR sent me. Okay, let's have the interview and let's talk. And then I give them the opportunity to show me stuff. And if you can't show me, I will give you tips on what you can do to pass the next interview, but unfortunately, right now it's a no. I have done that. Ironically, one of my really good friends and colleague in cyber, I told him that. Several weeks later, he earned the certification. He did the hands-on. He demonstrated for me. These things don't take long to learn. That's the crazy thing. You just need the right mentorship. So for me, the certifications is a checkbox because you had to have the certifications. DOD 8140 certification. Okay, you got certified. Okay, cool. Congratulations, right? Um, the degree checkbox. You either have it or you don't. If it is a requirement for those things, you gotta have it. If it's not a requirement, you actually have a way to get into this position if you can explain your experience. So, and for the clearance, and I worked in a clearance position, you had to have that. So if you're in a place that doesn't require clearance, you have a better shot at it, but still, you got to come up with some know-how. Does that help, Sean?
Yes, it does. And
What was the other question again?
now we're gearing into the job seeker experience. Your personal, if you wouldn't mind sharing.
Sure, I don't
And
mind.
sure.
Like, what did I do to get the job?
Yeah, and what has been your experience now? The nitty gritty, or just you can keep it on the more not
No,
TMI side.
I'm fine with that because guess what? This is about competition. We all have to compete for that one job. Oh, I want that job. We all have to write up our resumes and apply and compete for that. Well, uh, there were so when I retired from law enforcement, right? I wanted to become a chief information security officer. I felt like I had all those years of experience. Man, I got shot down fast. I mean, I got shot down so fast that I was like, what happened? The lady said, your experience is perfect. I had all the skills first. I knew how to do this. But the one thing I did not have is I didn't have a CISSP or an equivalent certification. And I was like, I knew what it was, but I was like, so what? I could do this job and run circles around most of your applicants. But the industry at that time was looking for people who had a rack of certifications or at least the right ones. So what I did was I solved my own problem. I went out and bought a Security Plus book. I bought another book. I went to a boot camp. I learned as much as I could, tried to memorize it, took some practice tests, and was failing miserably. I was like, what? I just went through this boot camp, and I'm like, the test questions don't line up. They're not the same. Do you know how frustrating that is? Most people probably do,
I think so.
right?
Yeah, I failed a
I know a
couple.
lot of people, really intelligent people, took the test, failed. Can't pass the security plus or another cert. So what I started to do then is I had to think of a strategy myself because no one was adding value. They weren't telling me what I was like. I tried that, and I tried all those, and none of that helped me pass the test. In summary, those are the catalyst things of why I started hsoc Cyber. Some of the reasons. Now, for me, I was voluntold into cybersecurity when I was in U.S. government when I worked in law enforcement. They sent me to NSA and said, "We think you have the aptitude to pass this training course called Technical Surveillance Countermeasures." And then I ended up doing that around the world for almost 2 decades. And at the end of the day, I was looking for hackers and terrorists and stuff like that. And I had no idea what that job was. I didn't think I was smart enough to do it. I still don't think I'm smart enough to do it. But then again, I got through it. What was so unique about that was it was a 100%. I had to pass an exam, 6 months. I was immersed in it. I didn't do anything but that. I had to pass an exam. If you earn a 69 or less, these 2 guys with long guns came in and they escorted you up the complex. They had no issues. That was the first half of the day. In the afternoon, you had to do the practical. That was just a pass fail. And there was a person standing over your shoulder. You touched the wrong wire, do the wrong action, they tap you in the shoulder, say you failed, and you were out. 2 guys with long guns came and escorted you up the complex. So it was a different time for me. In the bar was high at that time because you had to pay thousands of dollars to go through a certification boot camp, pass it, and then you will almost guarantee the job, whether you're experienced or not. Today, if I was seeking employment, and I've acquired employment years ago, I got the jobs because I had a rack of certifications, I had a rack of experience, and then when I had like the interviews, especially like the online interviews, I was able to demo in front of them, which was a game changer. I call that taking over the interview. As far as the certifications was a checkbox, the degree was a checkbox, the clearance was a checkbox. They hired me because of how well or poorly I spoke and what I could demonstrate or display as far as leadership or technical experience, presentation experience.
All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Phillips. I'm going to stop the recording here. Stop the recording. Thank you again. Please
You're
join us
welcome.
in the video
Thank
link.
you.
All right. Let me stop.